Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wake Forest University School of Medicine State of the School address. My name is Ebony Boulware, and I'm the Dean of our medical school, as well as the Chief Academic Officer for Advocate Health. I welcome you, and I'm so delighted to share with you all of the great things about the School of Medicine. And I'll be focusing a lot on talking about the accomplishments that we've made across our school as we focus on advancing health and well-being for individuals across the globe, and as we serve as the academic core for Advocate Health. School of Medicine is 100 years old and has a tremendous history of excellence and innovation. And our vision currently is to be the nation's leading academic health system, where we focus on discovery, education, and care, and they work together to improve the health of all, faster and at scale. And as a school, our mission is to integrate our education, research, and innovation across Advocate Health so we can learn quickly, train the workforce of the future, translate evidence into practice, and deliver better care across all the communities that we serve. Our role within the enterprise is to fuel the success of our academic learning health system by helping patients benefit from the major scientific breakthroughs that we and others have made, by training an outstanding and talented workforce, and by providing our cutting edge expertise and innovation. As you know, this is a really incredible transformational time for our entire health system and also our school. We are undergoing historic growth. Just this year, we expanded our school from one school and one campus to one school with two campuses and beyond. Our Charlotte campus in the Pearl is now open, and you are looking at pictures of the students, the first 49 students who've joined our inaugural med school class, who will start their MD education in Charlotte and complete it in Charlotte over the next 4 years. I've been delighted to be in Charlotte with these students, meet these students, and see the excitement of the faculty and the students everywhere as we've started this new journey. It's a really wonderful time of celebration and excitement for all of us. At the same time that we are expanding in Charlotte, we continue to expand in Winston-Salem and across the nation, our footprint. In Winston-Salem, we have investments in our new Eye Institute. Will be opening in 2026, where we'll host outstanding clinical care, research, and education. There are new phases of innovation quarter underway where we're planning for additional expansions to support our research and clinical care. And we have underway right now some expansions into the Linden Center, which is for biomanufacturing, which will be an expansion for a lot of the work that's happening at our Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine and elsewhere. So a lot of expansion and growth across our entire school, aligned with the expansion and growth that's so exciting within Advocate Health. I'm going to pause and take a little time to talk about our education and training programs. We have such a robust education and training platform within the School of Medicine that goes across the spectrum of education. We have over 1,000 total students, and we've had a 6% growth in our student body over the last year. 628 students in our MD program, of which 515 are in Winston-Salem and 113 are training in Charlotte. We've got 451 biomedical graduate students who are in master's and PhD programs in many different disciplines, 181 students who are studying to be PAs, and 98 students in our academic learning nursing program. For the Doctor of Medicine degree, the vision is to become national leaders and to continue to be, not to become, but to continue to be national leaders in medical education and innovation, graduating physicians committed to improving the health of individuals and communities through lifelong learning. Our class of 2029 is just as outstanding as all of our classes have been. It's very difficult to get into our medical school. We had 12,801 applications for the class of 2029, of which 994 were selected to come to our school. They came from 65 different undergraduate schools across the nation and across the globe. 48 of those were from North Carolina, and 27 are first generation college graduates. In July, I had the tremendous pleasure of leading our white coat ceremony. This is the ceremony where we welcome new medical students into the learning of the profession of medicine. This was the first year we had two white coat ceremonies, one in Winston-Salem and one in Charlotte, and they were both just as exciting and joyous and important. It was just such a wonderful opportunity to really welcome the students in, tell them all that they're going to be learning as a part of our community where we focus so much on our pro humanitate and for all missions, and then really to just put those white coats on. It's just really an exciting moment. So we're excited to do this again and again and again in both Winston-Salem and Charlotte as our classes continue to grow and thrive. Our students do exceedingly well in our MD program. These are the match day results from last year, where we matched students in nearly every single specialty in medicine, and they went across the country to do their next phase of training as graduate medical education in residencies. 37 of 46 folks stayed within our Advocate Health footprint. 46 of those folks stayed in North Carolina. So exciting for us to see the excellence of our graduates. And tomorrow actually is match day again. So we know our students are going to do so well in that. So good luck to all of our students. And thanks to everybody who contributes to the excellence of our medical education MD program. We also have an exceptional academic nursing program where we focus on postgraduate nursing education. Our program is 84 years strong. We've got 2 doctors of nursing practice tracks that are nationally recognized programs, and we focus on translating research and evidence into clinical care. We've had a growth in our programs, and we are leading academic leadership symposiums. And through all of our efforts, we're preparing nurses to become leaders in education, research, and innovation to transform healthcare delivery, advance health, and welcome everybody into the practice. Here's a little bit about our DNP nurse anesthesia program. We have a 36-month track, and our 2025 graduates were the second cohort to actually finish with a DNP degree. They practice in over 34 sites. They train in over 34 sites nationwide, and they've seen 19,000 total cases with 59,000 total clinical hours put in to get their degrees. We also have a DNP postmaster's program that focuses on leadership with 11 graduates, of which many have gone on to have peer-reviewed publications, give national and regional publications, and receive awards and recognition. So proud of our academic nursing programs. We also have a number of biomedical graduate programs. So a total of 451 students who are part of both doctoral and master's programs. We've got 20 such programs in a very broad range of disciplines. Our students come from internationally and across the United States. And our enrollment and demand are growing for these programs. There are 43 doctoral and 89 master's programs plus certificates. We have a genetic counseling master's that started a few years ago that's been thriving. And we are focusing our training increasingly on strategic workforce alignment to ensure that our graduates have opportunities to thrive, not only with our own health system, but elsewhere. Here's a little bit about our PA studies. We have one of the oldest PA studies and most outstanding PA studies programs in the country. Our physician assistant program graduates over a 2-year time period, and they get a master's in medical science degree. We have 87 new students each year, and that is also a very highly competitive rolling applications process. And this year we had 1,400 applicants for the 87 slots. 37% of those students came from North Carolina. And as we work in this outstanding historic program, we focus on producing highly capable, leadership-oriented physician assistants equipped with business and legal competencies to succeed in a complex healthcare environment. And as we know, we need the PAs, the nurses, the MDs, and all of you, the biomedical graduates, to contribute to our mission to improve outstanding healthcare for all. Our PA Studies program recently launched a Doctors of Medical Science program over the last couple of years. We've had 15 students in that program. They work on their doctoral degrees over a 24-month time period in 3 areas of research, education, and leadership. The studies are asynchronous and online. There's a multidisciplinary faculty, and there's a capstone mentored project. This is an innovation that we've been very successful about that advances the field of PA studies and puts PAs in positions to really lead and make pivotal differences in how we deliver healthcare across the nation. For the class of 2025, they had very high pass rate. We've traditionally had very high pass rates for the exams, above the national average of 91%. One of our PAs, Sarah Garvik, received an award to be a PA of the Year from the North Carolina Academy of PAs. We're very proud of that. And our program continues to expand with the second campus in Boone and engaging 4 different institutions, 8 medical departments, and 300 students. Our faculty are also outstanding. I always say we have no school without our faculty, and we're so grateful for all the contributions that our faculty make year in and year out to make sure that our school is outstanding. We currently have 3,764 faculty members and growing across multiple different academic ranks of achievement. The vast majority of our faculty are in North Carolina with 3,000 plus in North Carolina. We now have expanding faculty footprint. We're so excited about this in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Georgia. So really seeing our school expand in this moment of transformation of the school, but also our advocate health system. 3,000 of the faculty have clinical orientation, and 428 are in our basic science departments. And you can see that they are for both groups, distributed across our enterprise. So we are so excited. If you are a faculty member and you have colleagues who are also interested in becoming faculty, we will reach out to them, let them know that we're here, and we will certainly reach out to them if we get their name. Our Office of Faculty Affairs is thrilled to bring folks into our academic family. Our faculty always work tirelessly towards excellence through promotion tracks, and this year we were delighted that 111 faculty were promoted to either associate professor or professor in both Winston-Salem and Charlotte, and we look forward to these promotions across the enterprise as well. Really demonstrating the drive towards excellence and contributions of our faculty to our learners, to science and research, and to health of individuals across the nation and across the globe. As we've been transforming, we've had a number of transitions in leadership, mostly retirements. Lots of folks that have really, that we're building a legacy upon has allowed us to also then recruit new chairs to lead our distinguished academic departments. You can see we had a number of new chairs appointed in 2025 in family medicine, cancer medicine, pathology, radiation oncology, biostatistics and data science, urology, neurosurgery, physical medicine and rehabilitation, and cardiovascular medicine in Winston-Salem, with interims appointed in 2025 in internal medicine, vascular surgery, and radiology. And we have a number of new appointments this year, so I look forward to telling you more about these outstanding chairs. But our chairs really are what I consider the rock stars of our academic enterprise, because they lead our faculty to greatness. They make sure that everybody can thrive, and they are really the pinnacles of innovation and excellence across our academic enterprise. So thrilled and grateful to work with an outstanding groups of chairs in both Winston-Salem and in Charlotte. So much excitement going on there. I also wanted to highlight a number of faculty achievements, and there were so many that we really cannot highlight nearly all of them. Every day, I routinely hear about our faculty and how many things that they're doing, whether that be an outstanding curricular contribution that they're offering, whether that be great work that they're doing in the clinical settings to teach our students, whether that be through the research that's happening across our enterprise. So many outstanding studies, outstanding grants coming in, outstanding innovations, things that are getting into clinical practice and into care, both within our enterprise and outside of our enterprise. And that just is so emblematic of the excellence that we have within the Wake Forest University School of Medicine. In 2025, just like every other year, we had a number of faculty achievements in national leadership in medicine and science. Many of our faculty elected to prestigious professional societies, often in leadership positions, major national awards and recognition, and advancing research leadership. Here are just some examples. We really don't have all of that information. Often our faculty are very quiet about these contributions, but there are so many. This 2025, we had 9 of our faculty elected to presidents of major societies with national awards and leaderships, more than 50, and at least 2 of our faculty members had lifetime achievement awards. This really is so emblematic of all of the outstanding contributions that we have from across our school to advance health and well-being for individuals in our nation and across the globe. Thank you so much to these faculty and to all of you for your contributions as we move forward. It's so exciting to see you recognized for your excellence and your contributions. Research is a major focus of our school as well. I want to point out, and this again is just a small smattering of major awards that we received in 2025, some of them very significant, including an award for coordinating the Jackson Heart Study, which is a long-term national study of African American individuals in Jackson, Mississippi. This is a 10-year award. An award looking at acute care transition programs for older adults and their family givers that'll be conducted over 5 years. An award from the Armed Forces Institute for Regenerative Medicine, one of many awards that our Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine attains here in the Wake Forest University Health Sciences, led by Dr. Tony Atala and an amazing group of co-investigators. Another award for study of heart failure and physical rehab, and then an award for transition programs, again, for older adults and their family caregivers. One of the reasons we've highlighted these is, number one, to look at the diversity of the funding sources, different institutes of the NIH and PCORI, as well as Department of Defense, but also just to look at the range of different types of research that these large awards come from. And this is just only a smattering. There is so much research happening across the board, whether that be molecular research to humans research and clinical trials and community engagement. We really excel in the whole spectrum of research, and we are thrilled to support that and have help our faculty and trainees thrive as we do this work to make major discoveries across the nation. I was also honored to appoint a new set of Dean's Research Scholars. This is a program that we started last year where we lift up many of our most productive and promising emerging scholars in research, 6 each year. And they've been selected through a process where they are elected by department chairs and others for their excellence, and then selected for us to invest in them and their programs, provide mentoring opportunities for exposure, and help them continue on their upward trajectories with regard to research. These are really among our outstanding rising stars at our school. And I just want to lift up these scholars. You can see that they work in a broad variety of areas: biomedical engineering, cardiovascular medicine, and artificial intelligence, pulmonary critical care and ICU-based trials, CRISPR-based and RNA-targeted therapeutics for HIV and ALS, focusing on gene environment and those interactions on early life, and then causal inference in clinical trial design and methods. So we really, again, highlights the excellence across the spectrum with regard to our research platform. And we're so excited that these Dean Scholars are there. Our last year scholars are amazing, and I look forward to appointing other scholars. Last year was also our inaugural Celebrate Research event. This event occurred in Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Chicago, Milwaukee, and virtually. And it was an opportunity for us to begin to highlight all the great work happening in our research enterprise within the school and across the entire enterprise. We kicked it off with a really engaging speech from the Nobel laureate, William Kaelin. He gave a really inspiring and entertaining talk to the audience. And then we had events across the enterprise, really highlighting accomplishments and new methods across all of our different areas of science and research. It was really wonderful. And now Celebrate Research Month is coming up again in April 2026. Look at this QR code. I'm going to keep pause for a moment so you can look at all of the different events. We encourage everybody to sign up and register for these events. They are both in person and virtually. We're going to be focusing this year on celebrating pediatric research, cancer research, advances in imaging, advances in cardiovascular health, focus on brain metastases, maternal and pediatric health, neurology, and even addiction science, and there'll even be more. We have poster sessions from our trainees, a number of different venues, and it's just a really wonderful time for us to learn about all the discovery and innovation that's happening across the school and across our enterprise, and to interact with one another and get to develop new opportunities, learn and meet one another, and celebrate the work. So I want to talk about our school culture because this is so important to us. And as you know, we are embedded within our advocate purpose and commitments to lift everyone up, lead the way, think boldly together, and embrace the unknown. And I'm confident that we embody all of those foci within the School of Medicine. I'm going to show you some examples of the work that happens across the school that embodies those commitments. One is the Anchor program. This is a program led by Dr. Suzanne Danauers, one of the Senior Associate Deans in the Office of Faculty Affairs, and it's really focused on improving faculty well-being and connection. Over the last couple of years, she's begun this program, piloted it, and it continues to grow with over 70 participants attending 11 sessions. And it focuses on increasing positive emotions, social connectedness, and flourishing and resilience among our faculty with an intent to really help folks decrease burnout, depression, and negative emotions, and stress, which is quite common when we're in these high pressure situations in our environment, leading to hopefully improved mental and physical health. This program has been so successful that Dr. Danauer needs to increase and enhance the opportunities for folks to engage, and she is doing so. I wanted to read you a quote from a participant. One participant said, "Participating in this program has had a meaningful impact on me professionally. It's helped me become more present and intentional in my daily work, especially during high pressure situations. I've learned to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, which has improved my communication and decision making. The tools I've gained have also helped me manage stress more effectively, allowing me to stay focused and grounded even when juggling multiple responsibilities." So this is the type of work that we're doing to lift everyone up as we're all experiencing a lot of activity within our environment. Another activity that talks about how we focus on our culture is this effort to enhance belonging in healthcare. This was a conference in March, of 2025, where Wake Forest University School of Medicine faculty and others convened in a session to talk about strategies to enhance community connection and culture. It was a conference where 165 participants attended from 26 departments and led to a number of strategies that we're currently pursuing to enhance a sense of belonging across our school and across our enterprise. I want to lift up this set of of videos here called Mentoring Minute. This program is being led by Dr. Julie Silver, who is also a Senior Associate Dean in the Office of Faculty Affairs. And it focuses on how you can become a faculty member, work on all of the technical aspects, including developing a CV and thinking about how do you get promoted in faculty, and all of the processes around that, the excitement around that. And there are 11 videos. Each of them are quite short, only 3 minutes, that really key in on the excitement around becoming a faculty member and how to do that, how to navigate our system. And this is just one way to learn about how to be involved. If you have any questions, I encourage you to go to these outstanding videos, as well as to contact the Office of Faculty Affairs. Our Office of Faculty Affairs, as I said, is chomping at the bit to get folks involved in our community, and understand how excited we are to support you in your academic mission and your journey as faculty members. So please take advantage of these videos, but there's a number of other opportunities and programs that I don't get a chance to highlight here, but we're so excited about to offer, and we will reach out to you. If you have any question, you can even reach directly to me and I will connect you to them. Another aspect of our culture is how our students across all of our programs really lean in for advocacy for our patients, their families, and our communities. I'm going to be talking about in a little bit more depth some other programs, some specific programs, but here are some just highlights. A foot and hygiene clinic where students provide a monthly free clinic for essential foot care, exams, and physician evaluations. Students assist with foot washing histories and exams, and individuals receive new shoes and a foot care kit. We can't, when I've talked to students involved in this, they can't emphasize how important it is to the individuals who receive this. The individuals are so grateful for that commitment, and it means so much that our students are involved in learning how to care for families, communities, through this type of effort. Another activity that many of our students are involved in are mentorship. This is an example of a program where medical students come together to mentor students on their MCATs, their pre-exam studies, and helping them learn what it takes to get into medical school and other health professions. And there are so many other service learning scholar programs where our students are involved. I can't tell you how continuously engaged, impressed I am by the engagement of our students across all of our different programs. It really gives me so much hope for our future and our communities and our health going forward, that we have such committed individuals engaging with our communities. We really focus also in our school on character and how that really underlies everything that we know. We know that a strong character is so important to how we interact and show up with other individuals, whether that be in our workplace, whether that be in the exam room, whether that be in any different organization, in any different spaces. And so focusing on how we build character and support character throughout the practice of medicine in multiple different disciplines, with a focus on professionalism, character development, and awareness of how important it is to have character. The launch program for our first year medical students is one shining example of that, where we actively engage in students to talk about the importance of character. And there are a number of programs led by Dr. Marsha Wolford and others that really support this. Here's an example of how students and others have leaned in around character in medical education. This was a program that happened in April 28th of 2005, a character and connection in medical education conference for folks to come and talk. It was sponsored by the Center of Personal Professional Development, inviting our community to gather around the question of how to sustain character and connections that make medicine worthy of trust. Think about how important that is. What does it mean to build a culture of connection, character, and trust today, given all that's going on, given that we have AI and other kinds of things coming into our arenas? How do we maintain and keep that trust? These are the type of work that we're doing at our school to advance that, which no doubt not only has an impact internally for us, but externally setting a standard for others. There are a number of additional ways, examples that we show up for our communities. I want to highlight a couple of programs. There are hundreds of these programs, so I'm not giving it service by highlighting just a couple and a few. I'm so proud of all the work that happens with regard to our school and the community. The Delivering Equal Access to Care Clinic is one of the flagship clinics that the medical students in Winston-Salem engage in. It's been around since 2008. It was founded by a student and continues to be a student-led, faculty-supervised program where students provide health screenings, medical equipment, essential hygiene and even meals. And the commitment to this across the medical students is really outstanding. The impact on the community has been amazing. We just had a fundraiser for the D Clinic a couple of weeks ago, and just talking to the students, the faculty, and those that are engaged, hearing from the community how important these efforts are. It's really something for us to be proud of. And in Charlotte, we have a similar new student clinic in the Pearl. This is also a clinic where students get engaged with the supervision of residents and attending physicians with the goal of expanding access to compassionate and affordable care in the communities, where the students come into a Saturday clinic, providing hands-on clinical experience. They get to learn about the full spectrum of triaging patients, treating them, and having longitudinal patient follow-up. And this is a really outstanding example about how we partner with community partners to ensure that we're engaged with our community, investing in our community, giving to our community, and that our students of the future, our healthcare providers of the future, have the values and character that are so important as we move forward to improve health. In Charlotte, as the new students have come in, there's a new program focusing on getting students oriented to Charlotte as a community, led by Doctors Iris Chang and Emily McNeil, as well as community leaders, Reverend Janet Garner Mullins and Mr. James Lee, who I had the opportunity to meet earlier in the year at the White Coat ceremony. This bus tour explores Charlotte's history, community development, and an evolution of the local health systems. So important to understand our history as we expand our systems and we continue to meet our For All mission. These guided bus tours really focus on the lived experience of the individuals who come into our communities and that we serve. The Patch program is called Propelling Adolescents Toward Careers in Healthcare. This is another example about how our students engage in mentoring activities to help high school students learn about health careers. This program, which is directed by Dr. Iris Chang and led by students, focuses on giving high school students training in clinical workshops, mentoring about how to pursue a health career, professional networking, college guidance, and community health research projects, with 70% of those high school students thinking about pursuing a healthcare career. Really wonderful way, again, to engage with and invest in our communities. Our philanthropy mission continues forward as we continue to grow. We're really focused on enhancing the number of scholarships for our amazing students across the board, all programs. Last year, we were able to give $11 million in scholarships here in Winston-Salem and $19 million in scholarships in Charlotte across the School of Medicine, as well as our allied health profession schools that we coordinate as part of the academic core. With several million given to research and several million given for faculty support. We are all in on enhancing these numbers and continuing to build, because as we grow and as we build the excellence across our programs, we know it's important to have support for those. So more to come on that, and very excited and grateful to those who have done this hard work to make this happen. Okay, so you may have heard over and over again that Wake Forest University is the academic core for Advocate Health, and I want to give you a little insight into what that means. First off, As you know, Advocate Health is the third largest not-for-profit health system in the nation, and we're located in all of these different states. We're serving nearly 6 million patients. We have over 2,000 researchers, thousands of physicians and nurses and other allied health professions, and 60 to 70 hospitals with hundreds of thousands of teammates. So what a huge health system for us to wrap our minds around. And Wake Forest University School of Medicine is the academic core, serves as that for the health system. And what that means is that School of Medicine really is a hub that we not only, work on our own research and education programs, but we coordinate education programs and training programs and research programs across the enterprise. So there's the one Wake Forest University School of Medicine, which has our 2 campuses, and we're extending our faculty beyond. And we have 2 allied health colleges, which I'll talk about, Carolinas and Cabarrus, in a moment. Over 10 funded NIH major research centers, thousands of publications coming out of our enterprise annually, nearly 270 graduate medical education fellowship and residency programs across the enterprise, thousands of active clinical trials, and we are going to be increasing that significantly with our new National Center for Clinical Trials, which I'll talk about in a moment. 427 million in research funding that I went through before and growing, and tens of thousands of clinical research participants. It truly is a huge enterprise, and having the School of Medicine as an anchor with all of the experience in academics really strengthens our academic learning health system across Advocate Health. This is our graduate medical education, just a depiction of the numbers of residents and fellows that we have across the enterprise. We have 2,000 plus, 2,200 plus residents and fellows in our enterprise, and they all receive their training in 7 sponsoring institutions that are comprised of 12 teaching hospitals and their affiliated locations. There are all of these residency and fellowship programs and thousands of faculty who participate in it. This is really a big part of our academic engine that we are coordinating as the academic core for Advocate Health under the leadership of Dr. Tom Hansen, who is one of the vice deans and vice chief academic officers for the enterprise. I did mention our allied health profession schools. We have Cabarrus College of Health Sciences and Carolinas College of Health Sciences, both members of Advocate Health, training in a number of different allied health professions. As you can see, we're actually, a new president will be coming in, and we will seek to combine these 2 schools into a single school. We'll have to get accreditation and such, but that work is very much on the way. And then engaging other allied health professions training programs across our enterprise so that we can create one coordinated platform around the training of these really critically important health professions professionals that we need as we can continue to grow, and we need to deliver the outstanding care to our patients across our enterprise and in our communities. As the academic core, we have a vision and a mission around amplifying academics throughout our health system. And so when I talked about for the school, really being that fulcrum for translating discoveries quickly in our academic learning health system, we're focused on training the future for the benefit of our enterprise and beyond, sustaining the academic mission, making sure that we're healthy and that we're thriving and that we're providing a return on investment and value for our patients and our communities and our system. We'll be focusing, as we always are, on those innovations and that high quality care. How do we take our talents, our education, our research, and our innovation to improve care across the nation, and to, most importantly, have a lasting impact on health by doing those things? As the academic core and running the and coordinating the academic enterprise, we have some very lofty goals for where we're headed. First, we plan to expand and rebalance our research platform. We also want to grow and innovate and retain our talent. So I just talked to you about all the amazing training that we're doing, and we want to make sure that those amazing individuals stay within our system. We want to train them and retain them. So we're working actively on a number of different programs to make that happen. We're also indexing hard on fostering our innovation impact. I know personally that there are so many innovations across our enterprise, whether that be in education, whether that be in the clinical spaces, whether that be in the research that we're doing and other types of work. We really are focused on now, how do we get those innovations and help you get them out of your labs and off of the shelves and wherever they might be and out of your computer into the everyday use. So we're really focused on helping do that. And there are a number of activities happening around that zone, not only within the school, but across the enterprise. We really believe that because we're such a strong academic core, fully integrated into such an impactful health system, that we have an opportunity to model how modern academic medicine can be conducted as we move forward. I want to point out some really exciting developments that happened over the last year. You may have heard that we launched our Advocate National Center for Clinical Trials in December. As we said, with 70 hospitals in Advocate Health, this is an incredible opportunity for us to do multi-center clinical trials, reaching thousands of individuals, even millions across our footprint with clinical trials. Clinical trials offer individuals the opportunity to receive the best possible health care while studying how to advance care overall. So making trials available throughout our health system really will distinguish us as an outstanding academic learning health system committed to improving the health of all individuals who receive care here. We launched our National Center for Clinical Trials in December, and we were excited to welcome Mr. Adam Sampson as the president of the Advocate Health and National Center for Clinical Trials. You may have seen announcements about his arrival, as well as town halls that he's been holding, and he's been meeting with many across our academic enterprise to begin to develop that one platform for clinical trials. So what we currently have is a single institutional review board, which is one regulatory platform for us to do clinical trials. We'll also have one single front door for our industry partners and others to enter through so that we can do clinical trials in hundreds of locations across our enterprise. That work is really and then we have these data as well in a number of areas, just leveraging our data for access to clinical trials and even looking at the outcomes of clinical trials. And so this work really is well on its way. And this is one of the more exciting developments that we have, becoming the largest fully integrated clinical trials infrastructure in the nation. People often ask me also, well, what kind of research are happening across the enterprise? Again, as I showed you within the school and across our enterprise, we have studies going from cells and molecules all the way into our communities. And so we're really focused on how we support and connect all of that research to our clinical cares and the clinical breakthroughs that are possible in our system. We're focused on accelerating early stage discoveries and late stage discoveries. We're also focused on getting those clinical breakthroughs into clinical practice and leveraging our technology and our integration. You'll be hearing more about our Clinical and Translational Science Institute and our Clinical Trials Methods Center and how they work with our national service lines to advance this pipeline. But this is really exciting work that you'll be hearing about, work in genomics, work in biobanking, work in clinical trials, all the way from first in humans clinical trials to pragmatic clinical trials. So lots of work happening where we are really expanding all of our research from cells to communities to have impact at scale. So this is that cycle of going from bench to bedside and back to the bench. And we have that flywheel beginning to flow at an enterprise level, which is truly exciting. We have something called the 3 National Translational Centers of Excellence. This aligns with our national service lines in cancer, heart and vascular disease, and neurosciences. We have appointed 3 vice deans. Actually, one spot is we're going to be opening up soon, but in the areas of cancer, heart and vascular and neurosciences, and these vice deans who are leaders in the School of Medicine work with our national service line leaders in those areas to ensure that we have seamless interaction between all of our research and educational platform and the outstanding clinical work that's happening in these areas. We believe we're setting a model for the nation through this translational center of excellence integration. We'll also be then doing clinical trials in these areas and advancing our discoveries, again, from cells to community in these areas. A really unique work that's led by Dr. Jen Sullivan, who leads the National Service Line efforts, who's really been foundational and instrumental in helping us integrate all of this work under the additional leadership of Drs. Ruben Mesa, David Zhao, and Jeff Rose, as well as many others, and Sean O'Leary in neurosciences, really helping us pull this vision together as we begin to align all of our exciting research with our outstanding clinical care across the enterprise. One of the things that's a passion of my own is capture. This is how we're looking to measure what the school does. So it's wonderful to have updates like this, but I also like to have data. I'm a researcher at heart. And, we are beginning increasingly to use captured dashboards to monitor how we're functioning as a school. So knowing as of yesterday exactly how much research funding we had, knowing how our students are doing, what are their satisfaction with their classes, how are our faculty doing, how difficult is it to get grants, what kinds of investments do we need to make. So using data now to really drive our decision making and all of our strategic elements across our enterprise. Like, for example, tracking how many people are signing up for faculty, et cetera. I hope that's as many people as possible because we want folks who want to be a part of our enterprise. As we move forward, there's a new leadership team. As you may know, my role as the dean has remained as it always has, but I've taken on additional leadership with becoming also the Chief Academic Officer of Advocate Health. And so we have realigned our leadership team to ensure that we're able to address all of these important missions at Advocate Health. Not only within the school, but across the enterprise. So you see that we have leaders in research, in undergraduate medical education, in basic and in preclinical science, in clinical excellence, in our translational centers of excellence, population health sciences, and the health professions. This amazingly talented and regional research. This is an amazingly talented set of leaders, and you will see their faces across your footprints and your paths over the next months to years, and they are activated and excited to work with you. We all are, as we continue to move our academic mission forward. So this has been about an hour, and I was only able to skim the surface. We really are an amazing time in our school and in our academic learning health system. And I am incredibly proud and excited, and I hope you are as well, to see all that's happening in our organization. We are growing and transforming, and we're doing it well. There are just so many examples of how we are innovating. We are innovating across all of our spaces, in education, in clinical care, and in research. And you're seeing that excellence, and it's really exciting to see that excellence at such scale. As we're expanding, we're also getting better. How amazing is that? And I truly believe this is a place where we're all contributing, and that contribution is what's helping us thrive. So at a time when many places may not have this type of promise and opportunity, we do. We're taking advantage of it, and I'm so proud and excited to see it. So this is my opportunity to thank you, because we are on a journey, and we've been on a journey, and there's been so much that goes into this type of success over the past recent years. And it's due to your contributions, your positive attitude, showing up every day, the leadership that all of us show, no matter where we are in our spaces, that camaraderie, that companionship, that makes us all come here, and that makes Wake Forest University School of Medicine what it is, and poises us to really help our whole health system move forward. Thank you so much. I'm excited as we move forward with our one mission, as we grow our community and we have local, regional, national, and global impact. Appreciate your time. So, our next phase is questions and answers.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dean Boulware, thank you. Thank you so much. This was an incredible address. You've talked about so many wonderful things happening in the School of Medicine. And I think when you take a moment and reflect on all of those things that happened in 2025, you realize how tremendous it was. So thank you again for that. So we'll now have some time for question and answers. So we've received several questions from you all. Thank you so much. And we also have a few questions that the dean is often asked. So we will dive right into those and give some time for the dean to sort of give us some more insight into some of the things that are going on in the School of Medicine. So Dean Boulware, how do you see the School of Medicine evolving over the next several years as we continue to grow across multiple campuses and integrate more deeply with advocate health?
So I see the School of Medicine continuing to thrive. I see that all of our programs are going to continue to grow and transform. In the education spaces, I anticipate that we'll continue to grow and have more offerings while we're also really focused on what's coming in the future. We all are thinking about what's happening with this increasingly technologically, enabled environment that we have. How are we using AI? How are we doing what we're doing, but doing it differently? That's what we're going to be focusing on as a school in that arena. And that'll mean some of our programs will continue to transform so that we can meet people's needs. We're not going to stay stuck in the past and watch the future come and pass us. We're going to be at the forefront, particularly in that area. With our research, again, continuing to expand. I'm seeing at least a threefold increase in our research funding. Call me excited over the next several years, and we have what it takes. I've talked about really tripling our more than tenfold, actually tripling the total amount of research, but tenfold increase in our clinical trials. With the National Center for Clinical Trials under Adam Sampson's leadership, we are poised to really make a dent and a big difference in clinical trials delivery that will have an impact nationally given our size and scope. And then also the patient-centered research. We have an opportunity to really improve patient-centered care. We have a lot of patient-centered outcomes research work happening at across our enterprise, fueled by the school, and it's only a bit of what we can do given our size, scope, and talent. So I see those areas going. I also see us really legging into our communities and giving and investing in our communities through a number of ways. Our outreach efforts are really important. Our education efforts are really important, but connecting also with our community partners around community health needs, how we can connect students in our communities into opportunities with an advocate, and how we, by engaging with folks in our neighborhoods and our environments, how we actually build trust, transparency, and give back to the community. So I see those as being key areas where we're going to be growing. I'll also just say one more thing. We've got some really exciting things planned around our educational platforms as we begin to think about a new era where there's opportunities for digital education and such. So there's a lot of new things and new initiatives that'll be coming.
That's fantastic. And you said so much in that response. I want to maybe pull one little thread around AI. Everyone's thinking about AI and the impact that it will have. You already mentioned that we'll be on the forefront of workforce innovation when it comes to sort of having our learners being involved in the workforce, and then how do we integrate AI as well as in education and in research. What are your thoughts around, the integration of AI into healthcare and how we'll influence that?
Well, first I'll say I want to give a shout out to the Center for AI Research, led by Dr. Metin Gurkin, because so much work that he's doing and his team members are doing are advancing our capabilities within our own health system and across the nation relative to how we can leverage AI to improve care. So there's a lot of great research and discovery already happening here in our system, in our own programs around AI. Within our system, we also have a lot of transformation around how to use AI to improve patient safety, to improve the efficiency of care, to improve access to care. And those are really important foundations that we can build on as we think about how do we need to train individuals in the future. There's no place I think that's better poised for us to talk about and teach how to deliver healthcare, how to do discovery, than here, where we have all of these incredible scientists and clinical infrastructure and innovations around AI that we'll be applying. And so I just see it becoming a part of the considerations that we have. I'm really excited about AI as a tool to amplify and augment the work that we're doing. Can't replace the human aspect. And so it's really important for us as a school. That's why I focused made sure I wanted to highlight our efforts around culture, belonging, humanism, character. These are even more important as we get into a more technically infused environment around science and medicine. And so keeping focused on our for all mission, our pro humanitate values around character are going to be really important as well as we leg into this more technical phase.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. Thank you for adding that. Can you share with us a little bit more about your vision for our two campus model and a little bit about how the school plans to grow and strengthen what's happening both at the Winston-Salem and the Charlotte campuses?
So I anticipate that both campuses will continue to grow. Winston-Salem is the flagship campus, and it has grown exponentially and will continue to grow. We have investments around building research buildings and investing in research platforms and in growing our education programs. And so that's very exciting. And then Charlotte is also exciting. If you have not yet been to Charlotte to the Pearl, I recommend you go. It's so amazing. It's exciting to see our students there. It's exciting to see our programs there. There are so many innovative aspects related to our mission, ERCAD North America, where there's a whole surgical robotics training platform focused there. We've got partners from industry and academia coming in and wanting to be there in the Pearl with us. And as we're expanding our medical school class, we're expanding our research programs there as well. We're thinking about all of the different place-based as well as program-based efforts that we're investing in Charlotte to really build up innovation and research and training and education in Charlotte. Our PA program, we're talking about how do we get that into Charlotte. So lots of expansion. You're going to be seeing that it is growth across the school. And then, beyond that, we're talking about, again, we're building faculty in all of our advocate footprint. And that's really exciting because it helps us expand our training platforms. It helps us expand our research around data and our clinical trials. And also just our excellence. People come to academic centers because they know this is where we provide the cutting edge care. So we're really excited to promote excellence in our clinical missions as we advance our training and research and innovation platforms as well.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, as you said, there's so much growth and advancement happening, which is really, it's a pivotal time to be a part. So as we think about our partnership with Advocate Health and as that continues to grow, how do you see the School of Medicine supporting and advancing research across the enterprise?
Again, I think innovation and research are really critical to how we learn across healthcare. And so we are fully integrated with inside Advocate. So we are Advocate and Advocate is us. And so how we think about our full integration, it's not just partnership. It's like, hey, it's your brother, it's your sister. We're all part of the same family. So we work together to advance that vision of excellence about delivering the best quality of care everywhere throughout our footprint. And I think, it's a secret sauce, the excellence that we have in our academic enterprise with the excellence that we have in our clinical delivery. It just is a secret sauce for incredible impact and advancements that affect millions, literally.
Absolutely. Well, it's fantastic. I think there's so much excitement around that, and we can't wait to see how it continues to grow in 2026. So let's switch a little bit to education and training. So as you mentioned in your address, the School of Medicine has tremendous strengths in this area. How can we leverage this to help lead training initiatives across the Advocate Health enterprise?
Well, a lot of the work that we're doing really is we really are out front in many of our training initiatives across the footprint. And there are so many things that we are so great at leveraging, whether that be those we have great didactic programs, and so we're always thinking about advancing those, the formal education with degrees. We also have just amazing clinical opportunities, amazing clinical training that's happening across the footprint. Um, lifting that up, number one, but also thinking about how can we get our learners across our footprint, particularly in the clinical areas where we may not have certain types of training in one space, but we have it in another space and in perhaps another state. How do we get our trainees into these different spaces so that they could take advantage of the full advocate? Really invested in lifting up the excellence across the enterprise and creating those connectivities. There's also best practices that can be learned across the enterprise. So how do we create a network of excellence around our graduate medical education programs and all the other programs that we have so that we can lift the entire platform in excellence as we learn from one another? So I see there are a lot of opportunity for us to build and innovate in the education and training space.
Yeah, and 100%. And I think that, to your point, as you alluded, we're not just talking about MDs, we are, but it's the whole healthcare workforce. So PAs, nurses, and so it's the whole spectrum, including continuing education for faculty. So it's the full breadth, as you alluded to.
And I'll also say that in case people don't know, we have our faculty. Also, we do have faculty lines for nurses and PAs and other health professionals. So I think if you're interested in becoming faculty, you're engaged in the education and training space or the research space, please, again, let us know. We'll reach out to you and help you through those pathways.
It's fantastic, fantastic. Let's shift a little bit to innovation. Okay, so where do you see the greatest opportunities in innovation within the School of Medicine in the coming years?
That's hard to say because I'm not the innovator. It's our faculty and our students and our teammates that come up with the innovations. I think as a school, the greatest opportunity for us is to support those innovations. There are literally hundreds of innovations that I have heard of distantly here and there that often we've done these things and it's not but we've published a paper, we get a new grant, but that's really not what we're all here for. We're here to make the impact. So our biggest opportunity is to help all of our community, within our community, faculty, students, teammates, with all these great innovations, get them out there, get them out into somebody's hands so that the impact that has been dreamed of can actually become real. That's a big focus that we'll have. We're helping to support that. Advocate at large is working on this right now. I anticipate we'll see a lot of developments in this area because we know that our community is talented. And our biggest challenge is really to help lift that, get that talent to be visible and known. So I'm not necessarily going to be the person who develops the innovations, but I can tell you we're excited about the innovations, and where there are opportunities for us to change what we're doing, we do that.
Absolutely. And I just want to sort of take that one step further and just speak to your commitment and intentionality around impact and taking those innovations and really making sure they translate to our patients and our communities more broadly. And so I know that that's a huge part of your leadership. And I just want to just thank you for that particular emphasis that you place on impact. So we are coming along to our last question. I asked you about what you think the greatest opportunities are for innovation. I'm going to kind of go a little bit broader and ask you, what do you think the greatest opportunities or things that we can look forward to in the School of Medicine for 2026?
In 2026, we can just look forward to a focus on really continuing to support our programs, continuing to recruit faculty, continuing to support research, continuing to support our students, innovations in our in our curricula, um, and also continued growth on our campuses. Charlotte, it's not over yet. We're going to continue to grow. So we have 49 students in this MD school class. We're talking about adding other types of students, PA students perhaps to start. There's work happening in the nursing area to align programs. So we'll see more alignment and more growth. The MD program is going to grow up to 100 students per class nearly. So there'll end up being quite a few students in Charlotte and in Winston. As we're doing that, we got to make sure we have wonderful places for them to get their clinical experience. So we're stretching the clinical sites, and you will see more students in all of these arenas, in Winston and in Charlotte and elsewhere. Um, Looking forward to a new president coming into the Carolinas and Cabarrus Health Colleges. That's going to be a very exciting opportunity for us to align and amplify the work that's happening there, which includes not only the training of those health professionals, but early college students that come in high school and get degrees when they come out of high school that already get them into a situation where they could actually get employed by the health system. A lot of really great work. I also see us expanding our community engagement, whether that be around our education programs, but also along around clinical trials. So we develop trusting relationships with our communities around us so that as we're legging into all these clinical trials, we have the trust of our community to be engaged as we do that. So lots of different areas that we'll be working on in 2026.
Fantastic. It's really exciting. I think for those that we're not able to get the questions, we do have a QR code that we want to sort of pop up and have that shown now. And you can use this QR code to submit additional questions, provide us with your feedback. We really value your input, your partnership, your thoughts as we, sort of work together to sort of advance the mission of the School of Medicine. So please do go to that QR code and provide any thoughts that you might have. With that, Dean Boulware, I want to thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Congratulations on all the tremendous advancements that we've made and you've made in 2025. And we are chomping at the bit, excited about what this year 2026 will bring. For all of
Well,
you that have attended, please thank you. And please, Dean, please take the mic.
I just want to say one more thing, and just to um, uh, just also extend my thanks to everybody who contributed to this. There's a team that did a lot of the work. I think I mentioned, I hope I did at the beginning, but I'll say them again. Hossam Elsay, Claire Iljovene, Tim Ramsey, Jane Westgate, Ari Ball, supported by Lola Brown, and many, many others inside and outside of the dean's office doing this work to pull this together. And many of you who contributed this, I couldn't highlight all, but I've got time in the future to celebrate all these accomplishments. So please keep it coming, letting us know what you're doing. And again, we're here to support you. I'm here to support you. It's the excellence of our community that I'm here to support and promote. So please do reach out, submit questions or even comments to this QR code. I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. So again, thank you so much and look forward to working with you over this next exciting year. Take care, everyone.